You guys have to take a pay cut if you want this league to exist and carry on. Some guys 50% for the highest earners.
You know, someone has to bite the bullet, and in this case it was us.
I gave you guys all my word, for those who took salary cuts this year, to work our ass off here to make up that revenue. We are doing our absolute best to do everything we can for you guys. I think we all understand it's not going to be perfect. There's going to be issues.
Cutting an avocado, a knife slipped and went through my hand.
Lamar was a dream for us as a player. Yeah, smart, accomplished, knows the league, proven, great for our system. In the business, I've seen a lot of players start at some point and they need to get to one point. It happens in a few weeks. This is what we have pre-season. But seeing him at the beginning was troubling. Okay, he was out of shape. People need some time to get in shape. We knew how much we waited for him and how much we need him. Everything was surrounding him. So I said, I'm fucked.
We've been in the gym, yeah, we've been in the gym. Focused on the win, what you say, boy? Come again, hey, please come again. I like we ain't poppin', hey, who gon' stop us now? Who gon' stop us now? Who gon' stop us now? Who gon' stop us now?
Why I signed with the Breakers? The talent on the team, I felt like was one of the best in the league, with the addition of me. The guys on the team are super talented, like with Ty, Corey, then you got Finn, Tom, who's a vet, and Big Colt, you know? Like I felt like the talent was definitely there.
Lamar Patterson is an extremely skillful basketball player, NBA level talent player, but Lamar broke my heart this year.
I had already known that Lamar came in out of shape in his previous years with his other teams and kind of made his way into shape. He came in way more out of shape than anyone thought. It's quite disappointing as a pro. You know, everyone else didn't come in like that.
You know, we were so excited when we signed Lamar Patterson. We're thinking, okay, we wanted to bring Scottie Hobson back, one of the best players in the league. And then all of a sudden, a two-time first-team All-NBL player with NBA experience who fits our system so well becomes available, and we can get him. We grabbed him. We jumped on it.
I mean, seeing Lamar like that at the first practice was kind of like heartbreaking for me, honestly. Like, signing the deal and then getting like, yeah, we're gonna play with Lamar, like this is the guy, you know, like I was extremely excited to play with a guy like Lamar, you know, just, you know, selfishly even, you know, for him to make me look better, you know.
Honestly, I felt embarrassed. We built a roster of elite local talent. We worked for so long during the off season, which was the longest in history, with the goal and the clear target of winning a championship. All of our players that we love and trust were looking forward to Lamar joining the team and being the final piece that helps them compete for the title.
It was tough for me, you know, I'm such a competitor. I'm doing everything in the off season to be ready by that first game, and for him to come in like that, you know. And they told me, don't worry, he's going to lose the weight. He's going to lose it. He's professional. He does this. Comes in heavy at the start of the year. By the end of the year, he's balling. He's skinny, whatever.
I felt embarrassed when our guys looked at me with the eyes that had a question mark about how are we going to win like this, or how is this professional? And I needed to defend that and show them that in a way we can win with him even though he's like this, although I didn't really believe it.
We had different guys in different places. Lamar, he was in off-season shape. He wasn't in pre-season shape. Certainly wasn't in season shape. And he wasn't the only one. Colton wasn't in shape either.
Colton, getting out of quarantine after a few months of no basketball, 7-footer, white guy, needs to get in shape. It may take him 2 months, so it was a lot of other things, but in those situations, what do you do? What do teams do when they are in trouble? They go to their main guy, and their main guy gets them over the hump, over the bad times, and until everything gets better. And this is our main guy.
Lamar's kind of first day almost, so I wasn't sure what to expect from him or what have you. For us as a team, it was only our second or third game in pre-season, and coming together takes time. Bringing Lamar in was going to be definitely a shock to the system, and Lamar coming out of quarantine and probably not being in the greatest shape that he needed to be in definitely showed.
It was not a very good game, and not a lot of good things to take from, but at least we know where we are. It's a bullshit preseason game in Hobart, okay? Nobody really cares, but getting Lamar, bringing him into the team was something we hoped for. We thought, okay, we're going to get better, and Lamar will come in, and we're going to be, we had a lot of expectation. We're getting our best player. And a lot of players have expectation that things were going to be easier for everybody and also for them once this guy comes.
Our man LP looks like he did at the start of last season. Now we know he's going to get there, right? He cruises his way to NBL first team year after year, but he's not coming in peak condition from what I can see. And I got some concerns about Colton Iverson. I'm not sure he's the guy. He's big, but he's a bit slow. He's copping all kinds of foul issues right now, and that's a team that needs to get their act together for the start of the season.
Basketballers in general will push the limit to when they should come back from injuries. I wanted to get back as soon as possible. I don't think I could have done any more damage. I'm not sure about that, but I felt good enough to play, so I felt like I could still help the team.
The plan originally was for us to see the same surgeon who did the surgery in Melbourne. Unfortunately, on New Year's Eve, we were whisked away to Hobart, and we had to have the consultation with a plastic surgeon that wasn't a sports surgeon and wasn't the surgeon who did the surgery.
Sorry. No recording.
The surgeon was real conservative, telling me I'm going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. He seemed to think it was way worse.
Yeah, in the flesh, sorry.
Obviously, you listen to the doctors and surgeons, but I was kind of like, nah, it's going to be all good. type of mindset. I'll be back in a couple of weeks.
Honest too, everything. No nonsense, no bullshit.
Well, this plastic surgeon obviously was being very cautious.
Yeah, okay. This is why he's a plastic surgeon.
So he was saying,
and not a sport doctor.
but there's not many sports injuries which involved avocado and a knife.
Okay. If I want a boob job, I go to a plastic surgeon. Okay. If I want my player to play, I'm not going to a plastic surgeon, man.
Well, the plastic surgeon was the one that did the surgery.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have even went to him. We should have called the doctor who did the surgery.
I'm thinking maybe I need a plastic surgeon too. You know, I got a few things to fix, but I want him to play on the 27th. Okay. So let's send him to somebody who says.
Yeah, let's send him to someone that says what you want to hear. With Dan, he takes things with a grain of salt, and if you say 6 weeks, he's probably going to push you and push the medical staff to 4 weeks anyway.
Game on the 27th.
Were we in a different consultation?
That's what I'm aiming for.
For me in that moment, telling Dan, I kind of knew how he was going to react.
Again, it's all about disinformation and fake news.
Dealing with Dan, and he just wants perfection every day, and it is relentless and it is, ongoing.
It's like every other pre-season, you work your butt off, but I think this one especially because we didn't have time. Like, even though the off-season was so long, we had all this time. When we actually had pre-season, we didn't have much time because we couldn't get everyone all together. Guys were arriving late, guys were having to quarantine upon arrival, so pre-season was tough, man.
We hadn't had a variety of pre-season games and things like that, and also physically, I can say myself, I wasn't ready. I hadn't played a game in 11 months or something. Definitely wasn't ready.
We trained hard pretty much every day, long trainings, different places, got our asses kicked in some pre-season games, which was some pretty tough reminders of how much work we had to do. And then before you know it, the season was starting.
The Breakers will be forced to do it tough ahead of their opening game of the Australian NBL season. The Kiwi franchise have arrived in Adelaide and now face a strict 72-hour lockdown in preparation for their game against the 36ers on Friday.
It's been almost a year since we've seen the New Zealand Breakers in action. A new look lineup and big expectations coming into this season.
And they've got some great pickups, none better than Ty Webster.
Big ins for this team. Ty's just the tip of the iceberg because they also added two-time All-NBL first-teamer Lamar Patterson. He's an elite talent with a very, very high basketball IQ.
That's right, and he's huge in crunch time.
First game was amazing. I was watching the game, I wasn't playing. I said, you better go out there and kill. You know, there was an exchange went on Twitter about Josh Giddey, and I said, he ain't got shit on Ty.
And this Breakers team, how will they settle? They've had an extended pre-season, they've been away from home, they've gone via a couple of different areas. Ty Webster has been superb for the New Zealand Breakers. He came with a lot of fanfare, Liam, and he's delivering.
Well, he is, and let's not forget Lamar Patterson on that play. We were wondering how these two might go this season.
It was kind of bittersweet, 30-something points and stuff. I think I came out with a lot to prove. Quickly, I think I dissolved that. You know, I realized that I didn't have to prove anything. You know, I just had to be me.
All of our preseason games, except for one, were against one team. So we were very familiar only with one style of play. We didn't get the reps that we really needed to get. And although all those circumstances, we were in a situation to win the first game against Adelaide.
Where is this bucket coming from for Adelaide? Sunday deck, feet set, misses. Big rebound, Patterson. Doing it at both ends. He's travelled.
Oh, wow.
He played for the call. There was no call.
He thought the whistle was coming. Detch was all over him.
Outrageous.
You know, that blown foul call on Lamar is honestly one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. It was clear, it was blatant, it was right in front of our bench. Everybody jumped up and was begging the ref to blow the whistle. We got the short straw.
And I'm not sure why that wasn't a foul.
Refereeing is part of the game, and probably rule number one of refereeing is don't decide the game. Don't influence the game at the level that really, decides the game. And game one of the season gets decided on a bullshit mistake that you can't expect something like that from at this level.
You've got to get it in first. Johnson doubled up. Sloan. Oh! Bottom of the net for Donald Sloan.
So that call was a huge one, but I think we knew how big it was in the moment. We knew that our ability to handle adversity is going to be challenged because we don't have a home base.
And it is with Lamar Patterson. 6 seconds for the win. Blocked by Isaac Humphries once more.
Well, where was the foul?
Just the typical classic NBL call, no call. That's just, sometimes they miss calls, and they missed that one. I don't know, I don't know why or how or why, but he missed the call.
We lost that game in the midst of a lot of uncertainty, not knowing where we're going to be, how long we're going to stay. We as coaches knew that winning is the only remedy to all these challenges. And getting the win stolen from us, at the moment, we knew was going to have a big effect.
3 ball to tie it up and send it to double overtime. Clock at 5. Lamar Patterson gets a look at it and misses. The 36ers grind another one out in overtime. They're 2-2 to start NBL 21, and once again on their home court.
First of all, a lot of effort. You guys left it on the floor big time. It's one game out of 36 that we dropped. With a little bit of smarts, not even luck, we win it. It's not a cup final. We have to learn from it. As much as you did in the preseason, in the off-season or whatever, you cannot simulate the game. First games are obviously you need to dig in, and you did. We have to get better physically. We are back here in 5 days.
Together, 1, 2, 3. Together.
He's got no feeling in one of his fingers, but star guard Corey Webster will take to the court for the Breakers in tonight's Aussie NBL game against Adelaide. Webster missed their overtime loss to the 36ers last week, and his return is a major boost for the Breakers as he teams up with his brother Ty for the first time this season.
The return of the Jedi. He's back.
Corey had been training for quite a while during game 1 before he played game 2. So him having a rush back, I think he was more than ready. It was one of those things where the numbness in his hand he just had to deal with. It would come back slowly or eventually, but at that time, at that point, it was quite numb.
I felt good enough to play, so I felt like I could help the team.
I think there was a little bit of desperation, but I think Corey wanted it more than anything.
He was just really revving to want to play. really excited to be able to play with his brother and get a season underway.
They're in trouble now. They're in trouble now.
In the second game, Lamar gave us a glimpse of the worst version of himself. Incapable of finishing. He had a few good passes, but other than that, wasn't capable of carrying the load that we needed him to carry offensively.
Patterson, catch and shoot, 3 attempt, rattled its way halfway down and then back out.
Lamar killing us.
Shot clock winds down to 7. Lamar Patterson never looked likely.
And Lamar Patterson's not given him much.
Patterson needs to fire up, thinks about it, step back 3, can't make it his moment. It's an air ball.
Well, this is a big deal for Lamar Patterson. He's clearly come into the season not in peak condition.
You ain't getting nothing easy.
And that was the situation, so I just felt like I had to help the team as much as I could coming off the bench.
Beautiful three-point shot by Corey Webster.
It wasn't so much a point to prove like he's stolen my spot. It was more of I can adapt into playing this role and still contribute.
Corey Webster, and he pulls up for the long bomb 3, and it rattles in.
That shot was so tough.
I mean, yeah, probably hurt Lamar a little bit to see that.
You know, Corey's a complete professional. He had an injury, he worked hard off the court and rehabbed it exactly how he needed to in order to come back. Nothing against Lamar or anything, but Corey knew his role. Corey knew exactly what was in front of him coming off the bench, and his role was to perform and to score. That's what we needed at the time, and he delivered.
Lamar Patterson giving the Breakers basically nothing tonight. 0 points. The Breakers outscored by 24 points during his minutes, and that's a huge concern for Dan Shamir and this Breakers lineup.
It is what it is. You don't come in shape, this is what it's going to look like.
Just been in this situation before where it takes a little bit of time. You know, Lamar Patterson is a proven player. All NBL for 2 years. I'm not here to point a finger at him. I'm sure he's disappointed. We all have to put in the work and figure out what's going on.
The hand's good. You know, we're going to take a good look in the mirror. But it's not just me and Lamar, it's the whole team. You know, that's not the focus right now. We're 0-2. We need to get our shit together.
Great, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Fuck, man. We'll have the coach come in and let you in.
What the fuck? Thanks, soft. Defense. We have a defense. This is not the defense. We look like when the first practice.
Are you worried about New Zealand, Zip and 2, and specifically Lamar Patterson's early season struggles?
Well, I'll say this. I'm not worried yet about New Zealand because it's only 2 games. Lamar Patterson gets a pass from me only because of this. 1, he came in overweight both years. What did he finish with? First team All NBL, right? So what I can say is this. I don't like the weight, the shape that he's in, right? However, the man has come in 2 years consecutively and made first team All NBL. So you get a pass from me. I ain't saying nothing yet till around round 6.
It's different from being a regular NBL season just by, for one, the New Zealand team is unable to go home to New Zealand. So that's already different. And then it's just like the uncertainty of not knowing when and where you're gonna play games, when and where you're gonna be able to just take a shower for the most part, have a bed. Like we didn't know that stuff.
I mean, if you're a New Zealand Breakers fan, you own the team, you're the coach of the team, you're one of his teammates. I think it's disappointing the way he's presented.
You can blame it on whatever, but it's just my fault. Like I know what my body needs, I know what my body takes, I know how to manage it, and I did a poor job at it during the off season. Anticipating having a routine and anticipating having this stuff, it kind of like got in the way, fucked shit up.
This is the game of cricket that turned the season around.
Team played the game of cricket in Adelaide. I did not want to play.
I'm pretty good at cricket. I used to be a lot better.
I'm bat down champion, North Shore. Backyard bat down champion. Have been since '88.
I'm going to go and win 2 games in Perth because of this game.
Game of cricket. Probably one of my underappreciated, underrated skill sets that I possess. I didn't have the most runs that day. Started out as a friendly little game, but picked up pretty quick, you know. Guys get a little emotional, you know.
Get out of here!
No smashing it over there into the water.
It's just the Webster show. Daniel McCory. If I was really trying to win the game, it would have been a different story. We were just out there having fun.
It's another day in the office for me, brother. Another day in the office.
A few tricks up my sleeve.
Got it!
Bullshit.
Just come out, said there's a couple sick or something. So they're just waiting to find out whether it's still going ahead.
We had something going on in our team.
Rasmus, Jared, Finn. Rob's just come back right, he's been sick. And someone else from the staff, I'm not sure. But heaps of people. And they're all gonna go get COVID tests as well.
A few of us were pretty sick. I definitely wasn't feeling good whatsoever. Felt very run down, headaches, runny nose, that sort of thing.
I had a bit of a tummy ache. I shared a room with Emma, S&C coach, so yeah.
We had probably 7 people in the rooms with some symptoms, including me.
It's just not for everyone. You gotta be strong to survive on the road like this, man. You be a CJA, brother. Stay strong, brother. You're my little homie. At that point, I did kind of think we might have had COVID. Being locked down in a hotel is tough on the mental more than anything, you know. It's tough to just sit there all day, do nothing, feels like you're just a caged animal.
There's 10 people. Congestion, chest, there's a variety of things they've just woken up with.
I trust in our team and the players and coaches that they were adhering by the rules. So I didn't believe that they had COVID. However, there were a number of them who did have cold-like symptoms, and it was the only thing that we needed to do, which was to get everybody tested.
Depending on where you get the COVID test from, it can be pretty painful when they go up your nostril and go pretty far.
It's nasty, man. And I was like squirming all over the place too, which just makes it worse, I found out later.
Amaya, my daughter, was 3.5 months old when we got locked down in Adelaide. I guess your basic inclination as a parent is to want to keep your child safe and unharmed and happy. It's the first time I think I saw her cry like that.
It's a lovely hotel, don't get me wrong, but not being able to do anything, the restrictions, everything around you, all the eateries been closed and delivery only.
It's got to be a bar.
Hey, where are you?
5 people have had it.
Okay, cool. All right, I need to talk to you. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Does this mean we have to make up a game in Perth?
I don't know. Is the answer?
I hope not.
Yeah, sure.
Bloody good.
By that stage of the season, things had started changing so much, and the schedule was becoming very dynamic, and I knew how strict Western Australia was. I never thought we were going to Perth. Had we actually gone to Perth, I would have been more surprised.
I don't know how it was for you, but I think I still have brain damage from that COVID test. She did reach my my right hemisphere.
Because you had the mouth and then
Did the mouth, and then she went in and she touched my right hemisphere. And she had something like that, right?
Yeah.
And she went all the way.
5-day lockdown.
What's this?
5-day lockdown in Perth.
What, is this the report or is
There's
this
a
press
news-
conference.
There's a press conference.
Yeah, you want to watch the press conference live?
Yeah,
check 5-day lockdown?
yeah.
This lockdown means the following businesses, venues and locations need to close for the next 5 days. Pubs, bars and clubs, gyms and indoor sporting venues. Border controls are important here, and I 100% support them to ensure that we can get through this.
Our games are cancelled and we just go to camp.
That'd be
Fucking knows. That's the
Well, they
NBL.
may not be able to get out.
Being locked in a hotel is not a fun feeling. Besides the fact that it's not comfortable, which is something you can expect with the pandemic raging around in the world. The uncertainty. How long are you going to stay? What's your next game going to look like? How are you progressing day to day? And in all that, trying to keep your family on point is a real challenge.
So I need to change my practice then.
yeah, what?
But
then who are we going to do? Are we going to do Cairns? Are we going to do Melbourne? Southeast Melbourne? Brisbane? Because we can now go from Brisbane into Victoria.
There was a bit of guilt. I had a bit of guilt that, obviously we had to change the whole schedule again, and that it was because there was cold-like symptoms, and then it was a bit of a interesting moment where we hear actually even if we did go, the game would have been cancelled.
It's just gone into lockdown 5 days. What? Security guard at the hotel.
Yeah, they're in lockdown.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, we would have been stuck there.
We would have been.
Someone's watching over us.
It's crazy how things happen.
That's like.
I've been living in a hotel 3-4 months. Shit's some bullshit.
Let's go to New Zealand.
Fuck this place.
It was real like an emotional roller coaster of wanting to be there and not wanting to be there for me. And that was definitely, at that point, I definitely wanted to be at home.
Let's get back to Auckland.
Okay. Good evening. So, as we said multiple times already, we got to be always prepared for surprises. The only thing that I'm thinking, I hope that you are also the same, is getting our win. Okay? Getting on a winning streak, start winning some games. Okay, so let's have a good session.
Prepare for cans, fellas. Let's go.
Breakers, 1, 2, 3.
Breakers.
As a coach, I take responsibility for everything. When this is who I am. I actually lose sleep at night when people are not playing well.
The New Zealand side of the story, guys, is Lamar Patterson. Wow, benched. That is a big story.
Like, I've been overweight before. Like, I've played overweight before. I know I wasn't in the best shape. I know I didn't play great. The second Adelaide game, yeah, you could say I played like shit.
I have to do the right thing constantly. Okay, the right thing, it's based on what we see, it's based on data, it's based on information, it's based on truth.
Have a look at those stats. Only 8 points a game this year. He's got twice as many turnovers that he does assists, shooting 10% from the three-point line. Now he's been benched.
If you're not playing well, not look well, I should play other players.
It was a shot. It was a shot to my pride, and it pissed me off, honestly. You don't take 2 games and then put a first team or NBL on the bench. You know, you don't do that.
A 2-time NBL All-Star doesn't come in weighing 120 kilos.
Lamar Patterson slowly beginning to wake up.
The sleeping giant might be awake.
2-time former first team All-NBL. It was only a matter of time.
Well, look who's arrived.
With me being pissed off, you get a good performance, you know?
Late to the party in this Hungry Jacks NBL 21 season, the New Zealand Breakers, but they were the life of the party at the end of this. 85-79, they did it in style.
Well, they certainly did. And to be able to have that sort of comeback on the road, like we spoke about, and good signs for New Zealand. They'll be happy with that man on screen. Lamar Patterson, 22 points, 5 rebounds.
Lamar Patterson, amazing.
Two things happened in that game. One is I think that benching him created the sense of urgency we were looking for. The second is that we saw some of the things we envisioned in Lamar. A player that you can give the ball to in the end of the game and finds solution based on his talent, his skill, and also the respect he gets from referees.
Red Warriors.
Breakers, 1, 2, 3.
Breakers.
We needed that win for sure, but we got a long way to go.
Previous play, play right. Now this is what the timeout is for, to start playing right. If it's the real me, I would grab him by the shirt and say, release the fucking ball.
He was hurt. I told him, fuck them. No more interviews for the hero or stuff or whoever it was.
No, you fucking run down. I don't have any fucking run, dude. What are you doing? Sitting on your fucking arms?
Somebody's gonna have a scrap today.
It felt like he deserted us.